All right. Hello, everyone. Long time no see. Hopefully, everybody has had a nice past 13 days. I know Carla and I have been wide open as usual. But we are here for our 95th show. Glasses are going on. And we're fixing to jump right back into where we left off 13 days ago. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's go! Alright, so it is October the 15th. It is Monday. October the 15th, 2018. Which would be 15 de octubre. De octubre.
15 de octubre.
I didn't want anybody thinking my Espanol training had gone away just because we had taken time off, but didn't happen. You know what I mean? Still getting it done. Let's go. Let's go. Never quit around here. That's what we do. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Glad to be back. Really glad to be back.
Too bad there's just not a lot of tennis going on.
Not a lot.
I miss the Grand Slams big time.
And even tournaments before Grand Slams or other tournaments that actually mean something. But we're gonna jump right in. We're gonna jump right in. Real quickly, we didn't really take time off for 13 days. We actually had a hurricane that came relatively close to here and actually did a lot of devastation to our east in Panama City, Mexico Beach, Florida, and in the Florida Panhandle. Again, if you watch some of our weather videos, I do a lot of weather stuff, and again, I don't ever hope that anybody gets injured or devastated, but I enjoy weather, and for a couple of days out of the 13 days, I was watching spaghetti models and barometric pressures and wind speeds and trajectories and so forth, and trying to do some weather stuff. So
yeah, plus also we just started playing tennis a few days ago, right? Or maybe a week ago. We got the courts back, and
I didn't even write that down. So
yes.
a couple of weeks ago, we had a video that was titled "To Pay or Not to Pay," and for about 14 months, we had been paying to play at a set of tennis courts. At the same time, cleaning them almost daily, and if we didn't, they would have been unplayable. So we went on about a week and a half or 2-week hiatus of playing with our kids in doubles, and Carl and I playing sets, which we've played a couple now at this point, trying to get the dilemma worked out. And the good news is that everybody worked it out, and we are back on the court and have been back on court for about 2 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
And during that 2-week period, again, we've done a video about this part of the tennis season being very difficult for a really a tenured player or fan to really jump so much on board where it takes up or encompasses one's day. So after a lot of years for us, when it gets to this time of the year, generally we're waiting for the Australian Open.
Right, or the tournaments up to the Australian.
Or Brisbane,
yes.
or the stuff leading up to it. So I know there's a lot of new stuff going on in the game.
And there are hardcore fans that do watch it, just personally, in my opinion. For me, I think they should give a lot of these professional tennis players a break. They should give them the last 2 months free to train or spend time with their families or go on vacation instead of putting these tournaments on.
Yeah,
which could cause injury, like one injury that just came up.
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed that at this point in the year, a lot of the stuff is a marketing pool or a money pool, and we've done videos on this, and now there's so many different entities fighting over year-end stuff. The Davis Cup tournament format is going to be on board for next year, and we've done videos about the Davis Cup, or not the Davis Cup, but the ATP finals, the next gen finals, and all this other stuff that goes on during the period just after the US Open until the end of the year, respectively. But we just don't find it that thrilling and intense. But we'll discuss that briefly again. By the way, a quick shout out to all of those affected by Hurricane Michael. Again, weather's something that I love to do, and I drag her out to film myself forecasting weather. It's been something I've done since I was probably 9 or 10 years old with a weather guru friend of mine in Mississippi. Mike Etter is his name. He won't be watching this, but nonetheless, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't do these weather forecast. But in 30 years following hurricanes in this part of the country, I personally have never seen such a powerful hurricane as late in the year or the middle part of October ever. So I won't get into all of that in this video. This is a sports and tennis video, but a big shout out to all of you in the Florida Panhandle that are dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Michael. If I could trade places with all of you and go to where you are located and put 20,000 people in my home and just let me go see that weather, then I would have happily done so. So all our thoughts and hopes are with you. Carlos covered a lot of storms with me. I know Mike in Mississippi has, and we have seen a lot of destruction from Ivan in Baldwin County to Katrina to I was very young, but Frederick in '79. We've had Danny and so many others. But what happened on the Florida Panhandle this late in October was just absolutely odd. And hopefully everybody's okay. So a big shout out to that, because all of you that watched this and then watched the weather videos, I thought that would be fitting for this video to wish all those people well. So much love to all of you. And just a quick thought is that I can promise you that you will rebuild and you will be stronger than before. So much love to the Florida Panhandle. Again, I wish it could be me there and you here. And I'm sure it's a very tough time. So much love to all of you in the Florida Panhandle. All right, ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that was my deep thought intro. Let's go. Come on. A couple current event news. So first up, our youngest of 5 kids turned 3 years old yesterday. Did a quick video about that. JPD2 turned 3.
2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah. So he's a dinosaur fan. He loves dinosaurs.
T-Rex is his favorite.
Yeah, T-Rex. So he thinks everything's a T-Rex and made up his own name, Rohor. Anytime he sees a T-Rex, that's T-Rex, and everything else is just a Rohor. Anyway, so he turned 3, so good job for that. He doesn't even like cake, by the way. He just likes pepperoni. So he saw his cake and just wanted the dinosaurs off the top. Let's go. All right, little man. Check that video out. Cute little guy. All right, we've played a lot of tennis, by the way. So 2 weeks ago was our last video. We were still trying to figure out if we were going to be in the same setting from a tennis perspective, and we did that. So thanks to all of you for the support there. So we've played a lot of tennis. I have played Carla a couple of sets, by the way. I have lost all of those sets. There was a 6-4 tight one, and then today we played a couple. Granted, we both were very heavy, and I was obliterated today. But I must admit to something. What are you doing?
Nothing.
What? What was this? I can't wait to see that. What? Okay, so she had a 6-0-6-1. But if you ask her what happened last night, why my legs were tired, then we'd be on the same page.
Big O. And
Yeah.
I almost big O though on the second one.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that.
Well, we played.
Do we need to bring up the reason for that?
Well,
We can't.
then why didn't you bagel me?
This is candid camera. This is PG.
Why didn't you bagel me?
Because I was doing all the work. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
We had three sets that we played of doubles yesterday.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay, but before I get into the doubles, by the way, I'm 40. I'll be 41 in November. Okay?
Like, that's old.
If you have followed this tennis
That's
type...
not old.
I understand that, but if you have followed this tennis type, I'm not even talking about why I should be tired. I think if you can read between the lines, you already get it. If not, we'll move forward. However, for the first time in 40 years, I'll be 41 in November, the 20th. That would be 20 de Noviembre. What? Let's go! Come on!
Can you say 6 love, 6-1 in Spanish?
6 es 0, 6 y 1. What? Let's go! However, the day before yesterday, 2 days ago, in 38, no, I started playing tennis when I was 2, I'll be 41, so in 39 years almost of the game, I broke my first racket.
That was more than 2 days ago.
Was it 2 or 3 days ago?
Yeah, that was on a Thursday, I think.
All right, so I'm not proud of this in any way, shape, or form, and I did not mean for this to occur. I only bring this up, I had to admit this because for the past 95 videos, I've said anybody that smashed a racket is an idiot. So I'm taking an idiot card for this one. Let me tell you what happened, and you can tell me in comments if I deserve the racket smash. All right, let me make this real quick. I was playing her. We were playing at a high level. This was the other day. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was there.
She won the first set 6-3. Okay? She won the first set 6-3. Close tit for tat. We were running. It was a difficult set. So we are at 1-0 her way on serve in the second set. I decided to start serving and volleying. Now, I was raised a serve and volleyer. That's what I prefer to do. However, as I approach the age of 41, I find that it's harder for me to get there, to get set and get my racket out front so I can volley out. Okay, I find that when I get there, I'm a little late and I'm meeting the ball beside me. And I decided to, in my head, I was going to serve and volley every single point of at my first service game in the second set to change everything up. First point, served and volleyed, dumped the ball in the net. Beautiful serve, blow, chipped the ball and I came in for the volley, pop, right in the net. Okay. Second shot, something along the same line. Blistering serve, boom, she chips it up, come in, boom, right in the net. Okay? I think I even got down low 40, didn't I? Something like that. Anyway, I got to a break point, right? Break point. Serve it in, boom, boom, got there right in time, boom, dumped it another one in the net. I didn't even think. I just rammed it on the ground, and that's what happened.
No, rammed it in the ground. You hit it like 3 times.
So I smacked it 3 times?
3 times. And I said, I'm done.
So anyway, I had to call myself out because I don't ever want to be hypocritical. So if I ever call out this next upcoming year,
we can hit him with the racket.
Yeah, when the Australian Open comes up, or Brisbane, or the clay court season, all the way through next year, if I call someone out for breaking a racket, remember to call me out because I broke this. I got this racket in 2007, by the way. This is Nadal's one of his first series Aero Pro drives. That I'm lucky to have, and smashed it.
I'm sorry, I'm going to say you're an idiot.
Smashed it. Anyway, I didn't mean to do that.
I was so mad I just couldn't play anymore.
Hated to do it, and I'm not happy about it. I wish I had my racket back. Okay? Wish I had my racket back. So, again, why I did it, feeling older.
And the reality is he's never going to beat me again.
Whatever. Quick shout out to the doubles players from yesterday. That's Kenny, Patrick. That's Kenny Daughtry, Patrick Bolton, Carla, myself, Jonathan, Christopher, our 2 sons. We had a big doubles day yesterday, swapped up teams, had a very competitive day the entire day long. I know Carla's beat, and we promised everyone we would do a show today. So that's why we're here. So let's push through this, all right? Let's go. Great doubles day. And again, we've been doing our thing with tennis and talking tennis and so forth, but again, it's nice to be back, and hopefully all of you here have had a great 13 days as we have been away. All right? Let's, by the way, real quick, let me check the time real quick so I see where we're at. All right? Quick time check. All right, so we're at 13 minutes. All right, so we're good. All right, so we're going to get right into the discussion today. But by the way, guys, gals, we have got to get some views going on the tennis show. We just got to. We got to get some views going, right? Sometimes I think we're better at the weather than we are tennis.
It just shows you that tennis is not a popular sport. I mean, people are more interested in the weather than tennis. What does that tell you?
Well, the weather's obviously important. It's a beautiful thing, and it can be a very perilous thing, and so I don't want to...
But it also has to do with there's not a lot of tennis going on. Most of the people that are watching tennis are like hardcore fans. Most tennis players...
Well, no, I think the most hardest core of them all fans will realize that these tournaments are meaningless.
Well, I guess tennis players that play the game don't really watch these tournaments. I've asked a few people, and they're like, they're not really watching these matches, you know?
Anyway, all I know is the last show we did, I think we got like 80 views in 14 days, and we did a weather video, and there was like 400 and like
Within minutes.
Yeah, not very long after that. So let's get some tennis stuff going. It makes me feel like we're just awful. Come on.
Maybe we are.
Maybe we're just awful. Maybe we just do this to think that we actually are good at what we do. We just suck really bad, and maybe I should just break another racket.
No, please don't.
All right, here we go. Anyway, let's get some views going. Come on. Next. So Carla and I have discussed for so many shows and times, and we get drilled for it every single time. But I'm going to reiterate it. Is the unimportance for me, at least for us, and I'll speak for myself, but if you agree, okay. But the unimportance of the match results for this time of the year. I mean, let's think about this. What match results do I need to make an example of that just happened in the past week or two? I mean, there's too many, right? Was it Federer losing to Coric? Well, he's old, and Coric should have been at the top of the game a couple years ago. What is it? Djokovic beating Anderson? Is that a shocker? Can you give me another? Wozniacki winning? I mean,
yeah, not a shocker. I think a lot of the tennis players have a lot of energy, or they're just playing it because they're committed to it, and they got to keep up with the points. Obviously, Djokovic is playing very well. Let's not take that away from him.
No, we're going to get into
He's
that.
obviously playing very well, and obviously he gave the match to Anderson at the Laver Cup. Very obvious from the score list. I mean, this was a more... For Djokovic, he's taking it more serious than anybody else because he wants to be number one in the world.
Well,
so he needs the points.
As always, we're going to discuss Djokovic a little bit further into the show, probably part 2.
Oh boy, really?
I'm trying to push through it. She's grumpy. She's been up since 4:30 this morning. We played tennis twice. Took the kids out, trained them. We played all day yesterday. So we owe them this. They owe us some views, though. Mm-hmm. Let's go. Again, we're going to talk about Djokovic. Absolutely, he's the best in the business right now, and by far. But is it really a shocker that Djokovic playing at his current level that he won Shanghai? I mean,
I didn't honestly. For Federer, it was better that he lost to Coric and get embarrassed again in the final.
Yeah, I think Federer might have lost 0-0 to Djokovic in the final.
Yeah, he didn't look. I watched maybe like 5 minutes
of him
playing Medvedev.
Looks slow.
And I said, "Is this a joke or what?" I didn't enjoy watching that match. I had to switch the channel.
And I'm a Federer fan, a big one, and he looks slow. He's getting older. That's okay. But I would again, it's no shocker that Djokovic is fighting to be number one in the world.
Think he'll be
but he is number one in the world. He should already be number one in the world and taking a vacation because he has to win all 4 majors next year.
He'll be number one.
Or Carla's got to do a bet.
I think he won't win all 4 majors, but he will be number one. I don't see Nadal having the desire to stop him at London, or if he'll even play with Potro injured. It'll happen. Federer stopping him? I don't see it.
Yeah, and I don't think if you're a $100 million tennis player, I don't think the ATP finals are going to worry you too much.
No.
All right, pushing forward. First poll question of this show. Here we go. You ready? Mm-hmm. Does anyone think that the performance of any of the players this time of year indicates anything for the Australian Open? Do you think wins and losses right now at this time of the year will indicate how a player, male or female, does next year? No. Okay, just a poll question. We won't get into the responses. Okay? So, again, I want to be positive, and again, positive energy is everything. Good thoughts, hope, thumbs up, always. That's wish the best for everyone. But for me, this time of the year, players are tired. You said it earlier. They're tired. The Australian Open is right around the corner. Players need rests, and injuries begin to mount.
That's terrible for tennis.
The small little injuries, the knee pain, that just is a little bit. If you keep playing on it, it gets worse. And if you keep playing on that as it gets worse, then you end up tearing. These things start to mount. And unless you are one is a competitive player and have been for a lot of years, then you can kind of understand where if I play with a hurt toe for a week, and I don't rest it, then 2 weeks later, it's like really bad. And then if I keep playing with it, then I might be out for a year. So you have to understand that these injuries mount, and this time of the year, knowing that not very long after this time of the year, you're going to be in 120-degree heat in Australia doing a warm-up and then just trying to dig deep for the Australian Open, you have to rest. And unfortunately, some players cannot rest because they have to try to pay bills.
Yeah.
I
think for Nadal, for him, it would be smart not even to play at London. Let Djokovic have his #1 ranking. Federer, too, if I were him, I would have played it. Potro probably won't be able to play it. Murray, smart that he's not playing.
Potro broke his kneecap, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
I understand, too, or we understand that rankings are at stake. We get that. Rankings are important. It has to do with draw seedings and so forth. I understand that rankings are at stake. But the overall intensity is not even close this time of year as it is to earlier in the year.
I think for Severev it is. I mean, he's trying to accomplish something, and he can't seem to beat these bigger guys.
Yeah, I have a poll question.
He got creamed by Djokovic.
I have a poll question for Zverev getting into the show. That's good, though. We're on the same brainwave. And just to end, I guess, this quick little segment, lest we not forget, Djokovic is the best in the world currently by leaps and bounds. He just is, and we can't deny that.
I hate it, but he is.
So just everybody do Djokovic a favor. Just give him the #1 ranking. He's earned it. And just go to the ATP finals if that's your deal, and then we'll see everybody at the beginning of the year for the warm-ups for the Aussie. I mean, just give it to him. He's earned it. I mean, 2 majors.
Yeah, 2 Grand Slams. That would put him at #1. Yeah.
Just give it to him and let everybody rest.
Yeah.
Okay, Djokovic. I mean,
do you think people really want to be playing during December when it's like family time?
I mean,
everywhere in the world.
Even
if you don't celebrate Christmas.
I bet you Del Potro right now is like, man, why did I play that tournament? He had already got a spot if it was such a big a deal. Now he's got a broken kneecap. Anyway, we'll talk about that too. So again, this time of the year, for me, I think for us, I can say is pretty much a marketing and money pull. Mm-hmm. But isn't that what business is all about? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's what business is all about, but I know there's a business side to everything, but from a player standpoint, a coaching standpoint, from a passion standpoint, to where I bled tennis and born into it, I try not to look at it that way, but I understand you have to look at it that way. And again, I must defer to the dilemma that we've done an entire show about, that this time of the year in tennis is so up for grabs because nothing is potentially, and I'm quoting, that important, that the ITF that does the Davis Cup, the ATP that does the ATP finals and the next gen finals, that is, the World Team Cup being pitched out, and maybe the Majesty Cup that's being pitched out right now, all for this time of the year. I mean, for me, next year, you may have, this time of the year, after the U.S. Open, you may have the following. You may have, and I'm going to put it out here like this. You ready? Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, hot off the press. In stores soon, and I mean as soon as next year after the U.S. Open, you may have the following tournaments that for me are, every one of them are meaningless. Okay? Number 1, the Davis Cup. Davis Cup has never been meaningless. I'm a huge fan, and it's big time. Okay? But the current format is being tossed at the end of the year, and tournament format simply is a way for the ITF to compete with the ATP. Okay? So it's being reformatted, and I remember Federer even saying, quote, I'm so sad to see this way change. But yet we find out that he did the Labor Cup, right? So next year after the U.S. Open, how much time we have?
23.
All right, so next year after the Labor Cup, or excuse me, after the U.S. Open, you're going to have the Davis Cup tournament. Okay, I'll watch it. The next gen ATP finals. Who cares? I'm out. The ATP finals for the men. I'm out. Who cares? What, Dimitrov won it last year? All right, well, I'll see him now. The Labor Cup exhibition. I'm out. World Team Cup, if that pitch comes out. Do you care?
No.
I'm out. The Majesty Cup, if that pitch comes out. Do you care?
No, I don't think it'll last. Anyways.
Don't care. Just give me the Australian Open. I'd rather watch Brisbane.
I mean, for all that, they might as well put 5 Grand Slams.
I mean, something. Mm-hmm. So next year, between the U.S. Open ending and the beginning of the year, Davis Cup, Next Gen Finals, ATP Finals, Labor Cup, World Team Cup, and Majesty Cup. Good luck with that, bro. Good luck with that. I'm out. So speaking of breaking news, is it new news that most... Now, this is kind of an off-the-wall question. Okay, I'm only throwing this in there because this was something on my mind when I was writing this out. Is it new news that most movies that we watch, you put in a DVD or you order it, you watch a movie, is it new news that most movies are subpar these days?
They're terrible.
All right?
They are terrible. I find myself watching the older movies again and again and again and again. One surprised me, though, this year. That was actually good.
Which one?
A Quiet Place.
Oh, A Quiet Place.
Should
Okay.
watch that. That was actually good.
All right, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Again, I was sitting down and trying to come up with some things that can get comments going because our last show for tennis got like so little views where I almost thought about not doing another one. So I said, you know, we're gonna talk about something that popped into my head. And just yesterday, we rarely, by the way, watch any type of movie. We don't have the time. We got 5 kids, but my mother was here. We sat down, we rented a movie, and we put it in. Within 10 minutes or so, the movie was out. So that
Especially with him, he can't sit down.
That wasn't the only time though. We watched a movie a couple of weeks ago. Within 10 minutes, I had it out, and then maybe a handful of other times within the past 6 months, except the movie A Quiet Place.
That was good.
Within 10 minutes, I pulled the movie out.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spend much time here with this topic.
Well, it's like today's music, same thing.
Today's music. Yeah, we already talked about music though.
Yeah, same thing.
Here's the poll question. You ready? I need comments and answers to this. What are your top 3 movies of all time? Top 3 movies. When I wrote this, I didn't have my movies in store. I have an idea, but I'm going to think about this one. Okay? Again,
I think I know mine.
Top 3 movies. Don't tell them yet. Next show. Next show, we're going to talk about everybody's comments, and we're going to start over with comments next show, and I'll tell everybody about that.
Okay.
Top 3 movies of all time. Think deep. Gone with the Wind.
Don't even say anything.
Yeah, I mean, what are they? I'm trying to classics, Casablanca, whatever they may be. Top 3 movies of all time. Poll question. Again, we don't watch a lot of movies, but the last handful of movies we have tried to watch, I have taken them out and almost wanted to frisbee the disc off into the street, but I didn't because I knew I'd have to pay for it. Mm-hmm. But they've been garbage. What are your top 3 movies? Mm-hmm. Okay. Next up, Djokovic cruises to the title in Shanghai. I mean, it's great for Djokovic. We were just talking about Djokovic, but is this big news?
No, I think I expected that. Yeah.
He is the best by far currently and should be number 1.
Okay.
Any disagreements?
I have to agree with that, even being a Nadal fan. Yes.
No disagreements with that, right?
No.
I still think that he is still. I still think that he is not playing at 100%.
I think he is. We've seen 100%.
Okay.
I don't know why you're giving him more.
Let me tell you why. I'm going to get into this.
Oh, brother.
Okay.
Have you even watched him play? Do you know that?
Maybe I've been watching Djokovic.
Have you watched him recently?
What, since he won the U.S. Open a month and a half ago?
Have you watched his last tournament?
Does these tournaments even matter? Why do I have to watch him play Shanghai?
He's 100%. Let's go.
Okay. Oh, do you think he's 100%?
He's 100%.
So he's playing better than he did in 2015?
He's playing like he did before.
Okay, remember she said that. Because I'm going to stump her on her. She just said that he's playing his best.
And there is no one to challenge him. That's another thing.
Okay. Don't forget that I still think Djokovic, if he remains healthy, wins all 4 majors next year. All 4 majors.
I bet everything that he does not. But
okay.
Whatever. Go ahead.
Carla has a bet looming on this. We haven't heard from Sister to Queen, who bought into this bet with her a long time ago. She's been out of the picture.
He's not winning all 4. Come on.
But if Djokovic wins all 4 majors next year, you're going to see Carla do something that we have never seen before. You think when she was painted up with Nole all over her face? You tell me he's
going to win the Australian and the French? Very tough to do. The clay season is very tough on anybody.
I'm going to check time.
That's not happening.
All right, so we're at 28. So all I'm saying is if Djokovic stays healthy,
he's not going to. The clay season is tough on anybody. Come on now. Stop dreaming, guys.
He's so far ahead of everybody.
Stop dreaming, guys. The Australian, the heat is his worst enemy. I've heard this many times. Well, the Australian is a lot of heat. So.
All I have to say is if Djokovic stays healthy, come next year after the U.S. Open, she may be.
I'll stop watching tennis.
She may be going like hang gliding.
I'll stop watching tennis because I'll lose interest.
With like a plastic bag for your second.
I was rooting for the younger guys, but man, these young guys are like lost. So I don't know.
All right, moving forward, Del Potro. Juan Martin fractures his knee in Shanghai, the patella, which is the kneecap, basically.
Can this guy have any more bad luck?
Is this a career-changing or career-ending injury for Del Potro at this point?
Yes. A big guy like him? Yes.
Let's discuss this topic in comments. I bet Del Potro, though, wishes he never played Shanghai.
He shouldn't have. There's
he was already into the ATP finals. I'm sure he didn't really care about that in the first place. But there was really no need.
He'll never win another Grand Slam.
No need for Del Potro to play the Shanghai tournament outside of sponsorships and your racket sponsor and having to fulfill obligations. I understand that. But for him to go down hard at Shanghai at the end of the year with the Australian upcoming, really a sad deal. So he's got the wrist that's kept him out of the game for a long time, and now he's got a fractured kneecap. I think this is a career changer for Del Potro. Am I wrong? Let's discuss it in comments. I would assume that he's out of the ATP finals now.
Oh, why would he play that? There's no need for him to play that. Give your spot to somebody else. No.
So I do hate to hear that for Del Potro. I'm a big fan, but let's discuss that in comments. But I think this is a game changer for Del Potro. All right, so we're going to end part 1 here. I don't have much left to go, but we're going to end part 1 here. Again, if you're just a new subscriber or watching this, I know we have some new subscribers. I have to stop each segment at about 30 minutes in because my old phone will cut off, the battery will die, then I can't
Maybe sometime next year we'll get another phone where we can record longer.
And one would think, well, why don't you get a new phone? Well, it's not that.
Well, you have contracts. I think people know that. You have
contracts.
You
have to wait like a couple years, and I think for me it's like 3 years or something. And then again, we have 5 kids, so I can't go out.
Well, phones are ridiculous in price. That's
I mean like $1,000.
That's so stupid.
I just want to hit stop and just start over. You can always contribute. There's a link below for that. I'm not asking. I'm just saying it's there, but. It's difficult with 5 kids to go out and buy a new $1,000 phone.
And I wouldn't go buy a new phone.
So anyway, for 70 views, I mean, I'll just be real. Not buying a new phone yet at this point. So we're gonna stop here at part 1. Again, thanks everybody for watching. We have much respect for all, and especially for those in the Florida Panhandle at this point in time. Click a like below. Share the video. Thanks so much for watching. And part 2 is coming up right now. All right, part 2 coming up, so stay tuned for that.